What's up, guys? Got some bad news on my M4 and my Mariners, my M3 as well. So on Saturday I went out tubing, supposedly a pretty calm kind of river around here where I'm at, and it didn't end up so well. Wasn't really went a bunch of friends, just had a tubing party and took two down the river. I was like, oh, probably take my Mariners on there. It'll do okay, since you can tube down it. I've taken it to a bigger river and didn't have any problems there. But right off the start, kind of had the problems already. So right at the start, we're trying to get my boat down, my M4 down, and the launch was a little ledge, and it was kind of steep, and me and my son were carrying it, and I was going down first, and I guess I went down a little too fast. He kind of didn't lost his footing, and he dropped the boat, and he ended up dropping it on a rock, and it ripped it. Pretty good gash, as you can see there. I shouldn't have any problems with that, but yeah, it was right. It didn't even touch the water yet, and it ended up losing air with that big of a hole like that. It lost air quite a bit, as you can see. Hopefully be able to patch it up. It's a good thing I have my old boat, my old M4, that I can cut up and pretty much make custom sized patches here. And then my other thing, my M3 was actually being rode, and a friend of mine and her boyfriend was on here, and oh, let's just go back to the M4 real quick. So yeah, chamber, looks like it was chamber 4 that had the hole on it. It ended up being deflated, so we still had three. We had 3 chambers left, and I guess the kill. So I was like, well, it's still floating, so just take it down the river. Might as well do the float. We had some friends down there. We're like, all right, we don't want to miss out. Let's just join them. And it actually went good. Everything went good, and we were able to float. It was getting some water in there. We had 3 on the boat first, but then I moved one of them to another boat. That way, kind of keep pressure on it. So it was us 2, and ended up with 3. So we're doing okay. It's floating still, and then we came to a bridge that we ended up, there were some little pillars, I guess, and we ended up getting stuck on there. Kind of lost some stuff when we were down there, but during that bridge, when we went stuck, I guess I also ripped one of the seams here. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Let me see if I can find it. But, see if I can find it. It's somewhere here, but one of the seams ended up on the floor, ended up like the kind of disconnecting from the tube, and it started losing air. Chamber 1 started losing air, but not completely like chamber 4 did. So half of the boat was pretty much out of almost out of air. Chamber 1 wasn't. It was really soft. It didn't fully lose air, but it lost most of it. But we were still able to get it down. It was kind of an experience. Chamber 1 and 2, 3 and 2 ended up just keeping us up in the water, and as well as a kill. So just be safe, guys. Be safe out there. Make sure to wear your PFD. And then what happened with my Mariner 3? So again, I had a friend and her boyfriend was rowing this, and ended up putting my son on here. He was a third person on N4, but once we got that hole, I told him to ride on here. They ended up getting on a rock and ripping a big hole on the floor. So that's another big repair job. Man, I should be able to repair that pretty good. But they ended up getting some water, some floor, and actually we kind of met up at the bridge and kind of lost them and saw that they had water on there. So ended up just riding down the river on the tubes. And it worked out good on the tubes. Like they made it fine. But it was a good thing. Maybe it was the M4 that actually got all of the damages on the tubes. So because since it has 4 tubes, it was at least able to go down with just 2. Imagine if it was on the Mariner 3, if one of the tubes might have gone. I guess they could have gone on one, but if both of them, that would have been a sinking boat with a lost 4. So lost his Mariner 3. But yeah, as you can see there, pretty big rip on it. So be careful out there when you're on your Mariners. It's not a, it's a pretty tough boat, but not bulletproof, as you can see there. Be careful when it's shallow. Try to get as especially on a shallow river. I know now that that river was a little shallow and it hit some pretty good rocks. Yeah, I'll give you guys updated once I patch everything up, and hopefully I'm able to fix everything. Also, if you have any suggestions on how to maybe fix that seam on the M3 between the tubes and the floor, comment below and kind of help me out, I guess. Thanks.